You're tuned into the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com, and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, and Printfinity. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 86, New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. I make beats. I got the hard drive to prove it, and I do want that smoke. I'm about that action. Longevity directly in front of me. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good to see you.
You too.
Lone head nod. There's like 10 different lone head nods. DJ Jay Diff in the corner as always, rocking the fresh to death Juneteenth t-shirt exclusive with Printfinity. How are you, sir?
Salutations.
Good to see you, brother. I like how the headphones match the gold and your watch and the t-shirt, brother. I see what you be. I see.
I didn't even plan on all that.
I mean, they don't have to know that.
Well, I just told them.
Well, yep. I thought it was just something
recording
that you put
live
together.
from somewhere.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, looks good, brother.
Thank you.
As always, to my immediate left, the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
Good to see you, sir.
It's good to see you too.
Fresh to death with the Cubs gear. That hat is very dope, sir.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I really like that hat. That's you actually got that at Wrigley, correct?
At Wrigley Field,
as well as the top, also correct.
Indoors. I got the hat.
$100
inside.
$100
for the hat.
Yeah.
No.
100.
Not even close.
40. I said a 40 pack.
40.
Yeah. With taxes. Yeah.
And then this was there's a bunch of vendors like outside of Wrigley, official vendors or whatever. I think they're official. I don't know. It looks pretty official, but yeah. Go Cubs, man.
Yeah, good to have you back, brother.
Thanks, man. Good to be here.
Episode 86. I have nothing for.
It was 1986.
Hey, Crit. I see what you're doing over there.
Yeah,
I like that.
We just gonna go with Crit then.
Antonio Freeman.
Huh?
He's a Packer though, right?
Can we do a pack? Can we use a Packer Spoolz or no?
No, especially not if once you threw Big Crit out there. Like, gotta roll with that, man.
I'm with it.
We definitely can't replace. We definitely can't replace
the '86 Monte Carlo.
It's good too, but we'll go with Crit. Crit it is.
Yeah.
Episode 86.
Crit. Holla at us, Crit.
Is.
You want to come on the show?
Us, man, please.
Oh, please. That would be amazing.
We got a spot for you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Come holla at your kinfolk. That'd be good. So let's see. 45 is back at it
with the white vans.
I like that, Spoolz. Washington Post posted an article. It says the facts about Trump's policy of separating families at the border. So I took a couple pieces from this here. The president and top administration officials say U.S. laws or court rulings are forcing them to separate families that are caught trying to cross the southern border. These claims are false. Immigrant families are being separated primarily because the Trump administration in April began to prosecute as many border crossing offenses as possible. The zero tolerance policy applies to all adults, regardless of whether they cross alone or with their children. Now they have a couple quotes as well from Trump. The first quote says, "I hate the children being taken away. The Democrats have to change their law." That's their law. That's Trump, June 15th, to reporters in the White House. There's a second quote they posted as well. It says, "We have the worst immigration laws in the entire world. Nobody has such sad, such bad, and actually, in many cases, such horrible and tough." It says, "You see about." He says, "You see about exactly." This is a quote, so you see how chopped up it is. He says, "You see about child separation. You see what's going on there." Those were his remarks at the White House on June 18th. So,
all right,
he's back at it, backtracking yet again. Foolishness, no accountability. Can't believe anything that he says. I was not as up on this as you guys were, so I'm gonna come to Spoolz first because you brought this to my attention. I didn't realize he was out here on that foolishness again, but here we go.
We talked about it in an episode briefly already.
Well, yeah. I must not have been paying attention because I didn't read up on it like y'all did. So I apologize. I try to stay away from 45 as much as possible. I'm guilty.
No, man. Obviously a terrible situation. Which actually Sean brought up prior to the show was the fact that the UN has essentially called us on this.
Right.
And Trump's talking about just withdrawing from the.
That's the response from the UN. What is it called? I'll have to look it up.
Certain set of acts. I mean, he looks it up, but it's basically around like how to it's human rights stuff.
United Nations human rights.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to withdraw from that because you don't want to. I just
Human Rights Council.
Yeah.
Council.
And I don't know a ton about the Human Rights Council, but to me it just doesn't. I mean, does that sound like something we want to?
He doesn't give a shit about human rights.
Nah, man.
I like that. Well said.
I don't know. It continues to.
It says U.S. Hold up. Sorry.
Goodness gracious.
It says U.S. quits UN Human Rights Council, saying it's anti-Israel. This deflection over here.
Was it just the timing?
Perhaps.
Everything's a smokescreen. That's okay.
So to be honest, I don't know. Just continued. How much longer do we have of him?
Well,
45.
Yeah.
Depends what the Democrats do.
We're at a year and a half now.
Depends if they can get a
Has
candidate.
it been a year and a half?
Is it a year and a half?
2000
Approaching a year and a half, maybe.
2016. He won the 2016 election.
Yeah, so almost 2 years.
Going on 2 years,
And not soon enough. 2 years. Well, it depends if the Democrats get a candidate that can actually beat him in his base.
You know who I'd love to maybe have? I don't know. I like Cory.
You want Ye in there?
I like.
No.
Please no.
Please.
I like
no.
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker.
I think he's from Newark. Or he's from New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken.
What do you like about him?
I just, to be honest, like he wants to decriminalize marijuana. So I mean, that's something that I think should have been done a long. You know how many people get locked up for like?
Right.
How many of our friends do we know that are like good?
Man,
that's a
like,
fact.
It's just silly.
I
It's
hate
crazy
even,
right now.
Because we talk about this all the time. It's so weird about that. How you have you have TV shows that glorified while people are still sitting in prison,
locked up.
That's insane.
Yeah,
but as far as Cory Booker, he seems just socially progressive. The things that are important, that I find to be important. I don't know a ton. Again, I'm not super politically charged. More socially so than politically, I would say.
Right.
So I don't know a ton about him, but do you know anybody else that might be a potential candidate?
I followed this dude named Andrew Yang, but I don't remember why I liked him.
Okay.
So
where's he from?
I don't remember. The USA.
All right.
Imagine that.
He's from America.
Yeah, founder of Venture for America on Twitter. He's got an author called The War on Normal People. He's got a book called The War on Normal People.
Do you know what state? Does it say?
I don't.
No. Interesting. Cool.
So,
but yeah,
on Trump though, I think it's just interesting. It's like remember the press conference that Kellyanne Conway had like last week?
No,
I don't think I
peeped.
I
don't like her.
I mean, I don't know many people that do.
What'd she say?
So that they were talking about the kids in the camps or whatnot.
Oh yeah.
And
wasn't that Laura Ingraham that just put out a new video? Did you see the new one?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, never mind. Continue.
Was it Laura Ingraham?
She did.
Who's
one
the
today.
one with the weird?
They both look the same.
I don't know. It's one of them
with the weird.
Like she always does little weird shit with her face.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember.
Maybe
which
it
one
wasn't Kellyanne Conway. I don't know. It's one of them freaking brides. But anyway,
blonde-haired women.
Yeah. So they're in a press conference, pretty much discussing the kids in these camps, which are essentially Walmarts or whatnot. And one of the guys is asking, like, don't you have any compassion towards this?
Yeah.
Like, these are kids. You're a parent.
Yep.
Like, you don't understand this.
Oh,
and they keep saying
that was the speaker lady, the press secretary.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is, the one that has the no face.
Yeah.
No facial expressions.
Oh yeah, Huckabee
Sanders.
Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was a reporter that
we're all
was,
obviously very well in the political loop, as you can tell.
But he was going off on her about pretty much just having no compassion, and she just kept going back to this whole it's the Democrats' fault, and I really don't understand that narrative. Like, why do they keep pointing blame at the Democrats, regardless of what party is in?
They're politicizing it so that they can get the wall covered. Is the angle?
It's crazy
because right now it's all built in together. So Trump is like, well, we can't do anything until you pass this legislation, which also has all the wall stuff in it.
So
can you imagine being in a room when this
done.
gets thought up though? Like this, it sounds crazy. It's like we'll tell them it's the Democrats' fault.
This is literally
that's what
and then
what
everybody
they do
will
with
think
everything.
that. I know. It's insane. Like
that's what they do with like everything that happens.
It's just they
just find some way to point the blame somewhere else.
Yeah, the politicizing of this is like it's deplorable,
Yeah.
I guess, for the lack of a better word. I mean, it really is. Like, they're kids.
They're
You're
children.
pulling kids from their family,
Kids.
and essentially they're in internment camps.
Yeah.
Is what they are. And the video I saw was either Laura Ingraham or Kellyanne Conway. I get them confused. I don't know. They look the same to me. And she was basically saying, "Oh, well, these aren't really. They're not really. This is kind of like a summer camp, kind of like a boarding
summer camp,
kind of like a boarding school." As they're wearing in the same video, they're laying down on the concrete with fire blankets on, in the same shot where she's saying this, right?
Summer camp.
Yeah.
Watch the Vice video, Trump supporters. Watch the Vice video where they went in there and shows the caged and how
I saw a picture
stripped from their
pictures.
family and their parents and and not knowing. I mean, it's sad.
That's
I mean,
really
extremely
sad when
sad.
you think about it.
It's not like this is
real sad.
It's not like this is new across all over the place. There's obviously lots of
definitely not
horrible
new to
things going
America.
on. Especially in Palestine, there's horrible things going on. But this is new for here
It's also not like
in
it's
Texas,
not immediately like fixable.
right?
It's new as far as in this century. It's new.
Yeah, in the century.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
the Japanese internment camps.
Yeah.
I mean
here.
that, and like I made a post on Instagram. I found a picture, which was pretty much showing some slaves being sold,
Uh-huh.
and they had their kids with them because pretty much what they're doing is they're separating.
I
the
saw
kids.
that separating the black family.
Yeah,
I saw that
and
post.
I mean, that would even happen on the plantations or whatnot. They would sell their kids or whatever up the road somewhere to somebody else, and pretty much just split up the family.
Yeah,
and they try to make it like, well, it's the law. Just because it's the law doesn't make it right.
That's a fact.
I mean, there's
You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody has any
morality.
Yeah, any morality as far as how these kids are feeling.
Yep.
I mean, they're on foreign territory, and they're by themselves with a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many of them, speak English or whatnot. Because what's going to end up happening to these kids?
I
don't have.
Where are all their parents?
Yeah.
Well, what do they do? Where do the parents go?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, if all the parents are in Mexico, then why didn't the kids just
go with them?
Yeah, unless they were born here. But I bet you that's not what's going on.
Man, I'd hate to. Man, I don't know. It's crazy because I can see them being on some. Because all right, so last week we kind of talked about how the reason why Trump likes Kim Jong-un, basically because we felt like he wants that power.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and admitted that he's like his people, like how they stand at attention for him.
Yep.
I want that from my people. He came out and said that after we talked about it on the episode. You know what I'm saying? So it's some kind of power thing, power trip that he has, rounding up all these kids, knowing that nothing's going to happen to him because there's some kind of loophole, and he keeps just pointing it back at the Democrats.
This is literally what Hillary Clinton said he would do,
and
he did it.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head about the power trip, man. He feeds off of it.
I still just don't. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me why the kids don't go wherever the parents go. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that either. So I'm not as educated on it as I need to be.
It's almost like they're trying to keep the kids for something else.
Yep.
They might make them do something. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
How old are these kids?
Man,
the youngest is 8 months old.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my
Come
God.
on, man. Think about that.
So who's taking care of this 8-month-old kid?
Well, not the mother.
Right.
Definitely not the mother.
In an old ass abandoned Walmart.
Yeah.
Without like their parents. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah. I mean, but in positive news, Trump is going to launch a space force.
Oh man, we're safe.
Team America.
We're gonna be safe, guys.
Fuck yeah.
So we've decided to launch a space force. So yeah, that I literally laughed out loud when I watched that press conference. And then
I didn't even think that was serious because like we were watching something a couple weeks ago about that, and I almost thought that it was like something that was dubbed.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't serious.
That's the way I took it.
Like a bad lip reading.
Yeah, and then it was like a for real press conference about it.
So Star Wars was something that Reagan had in the 80s, which was like this system of lasers that would it was pitched as, or the idea behind it was, it would eliminate all nuclear war, right? Because these lasers would, anytime a missile could have potentially be launched, would
So where are the lasers?
That was the whole idea about. I don't know.
Where are the lasers from the 80s?
No, I don't know if they're out there. Don't know what's going on, but
it's like hoverboards.
This just sounds exactly to me like
they have the hoverboards somewhere.
Probably.
I think Trump took a lot from. I think he learned a lot from Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like I think it's a throw off for something else and all this other stuff.
The same people that like Trump are the same people that like Ronald Reagan too.
Oh yeah,
that's
like the
true.
absolute same people.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Reaganomics.
Son of a bitch.
See what you did there.
Ronald Reagan was
what
an
Killer
actor.
Mike say?
Well, didn't Reagan also run on the "Making America Great Again" slogan?
I don't know. Probably. I think he did actually. Ronald Reagan was an actor.
Yep, not at all a factor.
Nope, not at all. Donald Trump is a reality TV show.
He's the president.
Hey, he's a reality star running the country.
Goodness.
So. Well,
What did you guys think about him going over to North Korea? I didn't get a chance to watch last week. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I tried to have some sort of like a. Is he? We shooting for world peace?
I mean,
in
we
some way, shape, or form?
actually gave him some peas on that.
Yeah. Okay.
But we also talked about how
I mean, obviously not world peace. I was being funny.
when
but
when President Obama was bringing that up.
Oh yeah, how is it complete? Like you go over there and you're desecrating America.
Terrible idea. How dare you think of something like that? And
it's just funny how the tables turn, but such is life.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, he 45 was back in the game again, but
always
back in the game now.
I like that.
You guys know there's going to be a Donald Trump library in this country after he is done.
It's not going to be anything legible to read.
Yeah.
This is going to be our Twitter quotes.
Fused together.
Coloring books.
Did you know that there's actually a book of poems based upon Donald Trump's tweets?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody took them all and moved them around
Wow.
to turn them into poems. Apparently it's funny.
Well, I'll be damned.
There used to be a book of George Bush's real sayings, George W. Bush's real sayings, that he like all the random crap he said over the years. Like I think I've said this before like a number of times. Like I would take that back right now in a heartbeat over Donald
Spoolz,
Trump.
I think I would agree with you.
I was not a
100%.
huge W. Bush fan. Would you?
Based on what's going on now, yeah,
100%.
Shit, you wouldn't have.
Man,
you wouldn't have a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
Would have got elected.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I'm 100%.
still never found those weapons of mass destruction, but
No,
that's neither
he's
here nor there, huh?
Yeah, no.
I'm still
Like I
with
said,
you,
I was
though.
not a fan of him then, but I would in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. No
What do you
question.
say? You fooled me once.
Shame.
Can't get
on-
fooled again.
The point is, if you get fooled, you can't get fooled again.
It's just, oh man.
Yeah,
You
but
fooled me 3 times, well, you're pretty good at this, and I kind of like it.
That's how the saying goes, right? Like, yeah, totally, Mr. President.
yeah, man.
Giggity.
Longevity, the genius, the master troll. Now, let's move to a little music, and this is more of a sad note, but XXXTentacion actually was shot in Deerfield Beach, Florida, where he's from. I didn't realize that was his hometown until I looked it up. So, got shot in his car, man, and I guess attempted robbery. Who knows? You know how all the conspiracy theories and all the goofy shit that's gonna come up online. Actually, was some kid that tweeted or was on Instagram saying, "I just shot XXX, I'm about to go viral," or something stupid like that. And actually, one of the kids that was in that area, he's probably like 8 miles away. They said the gentleman or the people that did it had a red mask or something. So this kid is a rapper that's from Florida, and he has a red mask. Like, there's a whole bunch of conspiracy shit going on. Soldier kid or something like that.
Yeah.
So that kid comes out and denies it. Now I'm saying stupid stuff about Drake, and Drake had something to do with this. So it's just all running away, and nobody's really, paying attention to the actual fact that the kid
not to take away from the conversation, but Drake did not want to respond to Pusha T, so I'm positive he has nothing to do with that kid being killed, and it's sad.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, to me, that's a reach. Like, I know they was beefing or whatever, but I'm not about to honor that. No. I don't see that.
No,
that's quite a reach.
But it was real. I think
that's.
Go ahead.
That's ridiculous. No, I don't have much other. It's just insane how that stuff gets like.
And then you think about the video that surfaced. That's actually how I saw what went on. I saw that video. Somebody was just running, like there was a TMZ camera there. Somebody had the cell phone footage of the kids.
I don't think there was a TMZ camera there.
No,
somebody sold the.
Oh, they sold it to them?
TMZ just doesn't pop up.
I mean, I don't
on
know.
The scene every time something happens.
I don't know. Shit. I don't know.
Here we are.
Hey,
TMZ is always here.
TMZ be
all
on
the
some
trifling shit in the world that happens. TMZ just happens to be there.
Hey,
every time.
They're always lurking around the corner.
They get a lot of foolishness, man. They be
all you
lurking.
just ring the bell.
Yeah. Boom.
TMZ shows up unannounced.
They fall out the sky.
Bing, bing, bing. They're like fairies.
But nah, man.
What's bad about to happen? Roll, yeah.
Nah, that's whack to me, in my opinion. The footage of that kid slumped over like that.
That is terrible, man.
I don't honor that. I can't respect that. That's corny to me, and it actually shows the generation and the era that we're in now, that we live in. Everything is about.
Honestly, I'm not even going to blame that on the generation. That's a social construct right now.
Yeah.
That's massive. It doesn't matter whether you're in Generation X, whether you're a baby boomer, whether you're whatever the
it's
other
across the board.
It's across the board. You can't really point the blame at anybody, because I'm pretty sure there was people of all ages there, and all of them just had their phone out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I
filming
misspoke.
this kid slumped in a car, and you don't want to see somebody like that
at all.
You know what I'm saying? That's his last moment breathing, pretty much.
Facts.
And that's what they had to show for it. Like, nobody was trying to help him. And I would hate
there was
for one of us.
One guy.
Yeah, there's one person checking his pulse.
Yeah,
but
that was it.
Everybody else
people
is
have
just
their
like,
phones out rather than calling the ambulance or something, trying to get him some help.
Yep.
They rather go viral, and that's some bullshit.
I can't respect that.
Here's
man.
the fucked up part. You can literally use your phone to call help.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody had their phone
you're,
out,
you're,
and
you're
nobody
holding
called
the device,
ambulance.
And instead you're
using the camera on a device that you can actually use to call to get help.
And those moments are precious.
Yes.
When somebody's life is on the line.
Yes.
They say like 90% of the people pass away from that type of thing.
That's crazy.
Hold on, let me rephrase that. From on-site resuscitation from CPR, that's done not
within enough time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 90%
man.
people pass away.
And it's crazy because it's just really, really sad, because I try to put myself in the position of, man, if that was one of my homies, you know what I'm saying? And then you see this type of stuff floating around. It's like, this kid, apparently he has a huge effect on some of the younger kids in the younger generation that I wasn't even aware of. We talked about that prior to coming on to the air. And actually one of my coworkers was like, man, my son is sick right now. You talked about, I believe it was Terry that said was it you that said that?
What?
Yeah.
Did I guess wrong this time? It was you that said you knew somebody that was younger.
Yes, I know a few
people. Okay.
Yeah.
Got to finish your statement there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess wrong sometimes, so I didn't want to guess wrong. But yeah, like his impact he must have had a huge impact on some of these kids out here that may have been dealing with some of the same issues or could relate to some of the issues that he had. And we actually talked about that. It's just crazy, man, to think about the impact that he actually had. Maybe I'm too old and I'm removed, so I'm not going to diss it if there are kids out there that actually felt that way, because his impact may have been that big.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah, I see it too.
It's like and like, I mean, we've talked about him numerous times on the show.
Yep.
And he had some allegations up against him that
for some serious stuff, man.
Serious stuff. And based on that, of course, everybody's gonna prejudge this individual, because some of it was definitely on the table that was true. He just never went in front of a judge or whatnot or whatever. But
but that's just what it is.
That's just what exactly.
We're just talking about the.
But
criminal system here at that point.
Right.
Facts.
But I mean, I've listened to his music, and he actually had some pretty good stuff as far as his messages and things like that. It's just the way it's packaged is not necessarily something that I can ride around listening to all the time. I can understand how kids or somebody that's going through some things could have used him as an outlet or maybe a crutch to kind of help them get through certain things. So I can respect that as far as the kids geeing for him and being really hurt off that, because like, I mean, I was there. We all were there when Biggie and Tupac were killed. Yeah. You know, and that affected like everybody around me, because that was pretty much the soundtrack to our lives at the time.
No question. So
I can understand why somebody like that is important to the younger generation right now.
Yeah, I agree, Spoolz. You could jump in if you want.
No, I mean, there's a lot of like levels or layers to it, but I mean, first and foremost, like, rest in peace to him, and condolences to his family and friends, like, and his fans. Like, that's 20 years old, man. It's very sad.
Facts.
And I know there's going to probably be a lot more that comes out about what actually happened there and what was going on, but if it really was a just an attempted robbery, like, what a waste, man. Like, what a foolish reason to, like, you know what I mean, to kill. It's sad. That part is extremely sad. I have listened to his music more like when he kind of first started becoming popular. Haven't listened to as much of the latest stuff. Didn't strike me. His music, it just didn't touch me in that way. Mm-hmm. I can totally appreciate and respect how the younger folks might feel right now, though, because again, and Terry and I were talking about this before the show too. Like, I've been seeing the Tupac comparisons in reading these articles and stuff like that. Like, and let's go ahead and talk about it, because we were older and we saw that, and we've now seen this and are older. It does feel different to me. It doesn't feel like the same. I'm not, but then again, I have to, you know, Terry brought this up too. Like, I'm 35, like, but my gut is still telling me that Tupac had a larger impact or influence. I don't, it just doesn't feel the same to me quite.
I don't,
and I don't want to take anything away from anyone by any means that is feeling that. I just don't like, the reason why I'm saying this is because Tupac was really, really special.
He was a revolutionary.
He was extremely, and we love to compare
different things. Yeah, we love to compare everything.
You know, so
sports,
I get it.
Music, everything.
I do with him. Jordan and LeBron and like all that.
Everybody always wants to compare greats to whatever's up and coming.
But all the same, he obviously had a massive impact, like you guys have said, on kids, and so like I said, man, rest in peace to him, and it's very unfortunate.
I think a lot of the correlation is how he was killed, and because obviously he wasn't here long enough to fulfill all the things that Tupac did. His catalog is nowhere near as big as Tupac's.
Pac was what, 6 years older than him when he was
25, 26.
25, 26.
Yeah,
okay.
And he did so much in that time.
Yeah.
And I understand the correlation, like I said, as far as somebody that you kind of vibe with all the time. You feel like you might know this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then something like this happens.
Yep.
I understand that. And I don't think we're in a position to where we can actually, we're not supposed to feel the same way that these kids are feeling.
Right.
Because we're not in the same position as them, and we're not going through the same things as they are. So we would pretty much have to be listening to him in our adolescence in order to kind of feel what they feel. So I can respect that.
That's why I can't knock them.
Right.
I can't knock them. You know, and you can use the comparison to your point. Just keep it on the face value for what it is. I'm not talking about from a talent standpoint, from, you know, catalog standpoint, like just on the face value for what it is in relation to those kids. Like, I can respect it. Like, I'm not going to be the person, the old head walking around trying to knock these kids for feeling a certain way. about this young man passing away, because to your point, I don't know. We don't know.
And like content wise too, he pretty much put it all out there. Like it's a lot of emotional stuff tied into his music.
I gave you credit as well, because once I found out that he passed away, I put on my page first that it's sad that the young man passed away, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, oh, I was a huge fan or I listened to all the records. But I did give you props because you told me to listen to one of his projects. Like we may have talked about it on the next episode after you told me. But I actually visited and I revisited and listened to it. I listened to it when you told me, but I jumped in here and there since then. And I'm like, okay, dude really wasn't what I thought. I was like, he's not, I wouldn't classify him as being whack.
He wasn't what he looked like.
There you go.
If you see him,
yeah,
especially based on the status quo of today's rapper.
Exactly.
He has that image. So you see that.
Yep, I judged
and
it.
it's like his music really doesn't sound like what you probably expected it to sound
I can admit
like.
that. And he addressed a lot of deep, it was some meat and potatoes in there, which I'm a fan of. I like that when people want to dive in and address certain things. So I was pleasantly surprised. I can't lie. I was like, okay, not bad, kid, not bad. But like
he was heavily like I just from checking him out earlier on. I mean, he's been like influenced by like Nirvana. Like he liked Nirvana. You know what I mean? He liked different types of music too, and I think that seemed to come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, I just it's unfortunate, man.
I don't know, man. It's just crazy. And I was telling one of my homies this as well. We were talking about this at work, and I hate to be this person, but it's just my personal opinion. There's so many outlets, man, that share these kids going back and forth, and they share the Instagram videos of these kids talking about how they gonna run up on each other and pull up and pull up and pull up. And these, like, that's not the reason. Like, I'm not gonna say that's the reason this happened, but people have to be held accountable. You have to be held accountable for the power that you have. Because if you're continuously promoting this foolishness and this nonsense, there are people that are out there listening. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad because all I see is a lot of this goofy shit being put out there. Then when you see this young man get killed, it's like, damn.
It's just careless. You know what I'm saying? Overall, and what people don't understand is life is not a video game.
Facts.
When something happens, you don't get another credit and get to come back and start over. The shit's real life. And it's almost like we were just talking about this too. Tekashi 69 just had a pretty much epiphany off him dying. He said, I don't think I need to be trolling like I do and this, that, and the other. Now he's shook because it's real to him now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can be touched. You can be touched. It's very easy.
It's very easy to be touched.
You was in Chicago talking all that shit.
Yeah.
You could have easily not made it out.
Facts. Yeah. Now, do you think, let me ask you this since you brought that up. Do you think we'll call it his epiphany, do you think this is going to last?
No.
Or is this a situation? Because in my opinion, I do not. I think this is a situation where it's good. It's the thing to do now. Yeah,
even
let me post a video real quick.
Even if it did last, he's dug himself a pretty decent hole.
Bingo. I'm with you. And
I don't want to wish any wrong on him or anybody else, but
I just don't know if there's any validity to it, man. It ain't seem genuine based off how you were just moving 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now it's like,
it's just last week.
Oh, excuse me. We just talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Last week. Now it's like, I'm just going to completely change and stay away from the trolling and the foolishness. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, condolences to XXXTentacion.
Yeah, man. That's
his family, friends.
Somebody that's a father, man. Somebody's brother. It's his son.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know
he has a child on the way.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Does he?
Yep.
Yeah, the case that he's involved in
with the young lady. Yeah,
with the young lady, she's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
Yeah. I don't believe she's had the baby.
Yep. So.
Yeah, any of that like good riddance shit that I've seen on
that's
bullshit, man.
I can't honor that, man.
I don't.
Yeah, we can't honor that.
That's fucking deplorable. It's disgusting, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I can't honor. You have to. What type of person are you? You got to find something in your soul to be like, man,
that's fucked up, man.
Exactly. Like I can't honor that. It's not. It's nothing to play with.
No, it's not, and that's part of what, kind of back. Not. I mean, I know we want to talk, but real quick, like, that's the part that's like scary about all this too.
What's
like
that?
It's like it's becoming more and more. Okay, I won't say. I don't. Somehow we're more and more desensitized. I think.
No, that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly
That's
what it
scary
is.
to me.
Yep.
Man.
Right.
It's scary to me that a 20-year-old person was dying in a car and everybody couldn't wait to get their phone out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
scary. Yeah. That could be one of us.
Dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that could be one of our brothers, sister. You know what I mean? Like, just,
yeah.
Come on, man. And I know I'm not putting everybody down. Like you know what I mean? But that's.
Terry said it's not a video game.
It's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna say something, Lone?
I was just gonna say, but at the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and go there.
Go ahead. That's what we do.
I'm completely indifferent. I think it's sad that he died.
Yep.
But I when I say indifferent, I mean that maybe I am desensitized to an extent, but I never really cared about him when he was alive, and I don't really care about him now. And that sounds fucked up to say, but I still think it's sad that he died the way every point that everybody has made, I think, is valid.
Okay.
I agree with all that.
All right.
But I also understand where some people are coming from to an extent that feels similar in the sense that they don't care that he's dead.
That feeling, though, is different than what I was more referring to.
I know, but I wanted to kind of articulate that a little bit.
There is a middle ground.
There's a subtlety of just not really caring.
Because I've honestly, Sean, I feel very. I mean, I guess I try to be we just talked about. We all try to be compassionate
for sure
people, but I didn't. Again, and that's what I was kind of getting at with Terry with the Tupac thing. Like, it just didn't. Like when Tupac died, I cried when I was 14,
right?
Or 13, and I taped a picture of him like inside this notebook. You know what I mean? The whole And it wasn't on some teeny bop shit. It was because I still listen to Tupac today. Like,
there was a connection there.
Yeah,
there was a connection.
You know what I mean? And I understand that kids have that,
and that's what I don't have with him.
Exactly.
And that's all that is.
I don't think any of us are saying that we have that with him. It's based on the situation.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying there's another one thing that we haven't touched on. Really, are the people that are coming out saying, well, because he was these things when he was alive, he deserves to be.
That's more what I was getting at.
Or not necessarily he deserves that, but that they don't care. Like good riddance type shit. And I'm just like, I don't. He beat his pregnant. Like I don't want to bring his he's dead now. But it's like. I see where they're coming from in that, in that aspect to an extent. And from somebody who doesn't, I've never listened to his music.
Right.
I've never jumped into it. And it was sad to see. I saw the video when it came out and I was like, oh, that's fucked up that somebody recorded that. And it's fucked up that I'm watching it right now.
You brought up Martyr though. We talked about, and Rosenberg actually on Hot 97 talked about, we can't lose sight of the totality of everything that was associated with this young man, because
I think that's important too.
I agree 100%. 100%.
Not to speak ill on him, but at the same time, that's kind of who he was. Now, granted, there's the other side of it again. He was 20 years old. He was a kid. The way he grew up. We're not speaking on the trauma that he had as a child.
They said he was trending in the right direction as well. Like he had changed,
which is great. Which is great.
And I think that's dope. But I agree with Rosenberg when he says we can't absolve him from everything just because there are kids that are so influenced by him.
I don't think he gets absolved from any of that stuff.
But I think I think there are some people that are trying to forget that, and I think that's what Rosenberg was speaking to. Like, you got to tell the whole story, especially when you have somebody that's that powerful, because all the people that are influenced, you can't throw that to the side and just, you know what I mean?
I guess I agree with that.
Like that's,
I can.
I'm not trying to harp on that, but it was there.
When somebody passes, is when people pay the most attention to them.
For sure.
There's a lot of people never even heard of XXXTentacion until yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I understand the aspect of it. You have to include everything into the story.
Yeah.
In order to kind of get the whole picture. But I do, what I'm saying is I understand why these kids,
right,
or whatnot, had that connection.
I agree.
And it's beyond that.
Yeah,
Right.
it's way beyond that. I agree.
So
I agree 100%. Yeah, and it's just tough, man. I just hate to see. I remember 20. I know what the 20s were like, the early 20s. I remember being in that age and just having so much stuff to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? And you fresh out of high school, whatever, you in college or whatever. It's like I remember that era.
You couldn't even go in a liquor store yet.
Yeah, like I remember that era. I remember that vividly, how much fun. Like I met Red August when I was around that age. Like I remember, we got stories for days, and there's so much stuff that's happened between then and now. And it's like he won't have a chance to go through all that.
And that is the part that is the universally sad part.
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like when all right, one of your friends gets killed.
Yeah.
I think we've probably all experienced that a number of times in this room.
Sure have.
It's a similar feeling. I guess, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get. It's like, I didn't know your friend, but I know people are really hurt right now.
For sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I feel for them, man. Like that's, especially, his family.
So yeah, man.
And, his friends.
What was the gentleman's name in Pennsylvania?
Oh man,
WAPO.
Yeah, what's his first name?
Oh, it was Pittsburgh. Yep, Pennsylvania. It was Tony WAPO or Tony WAPO. He's someone I had never heard of before it happened.
I want to say he was associated with Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, it was like
right?
he just signed to Taylor Gang.
Yeah.
Very recently.
And he got shot the same day. I'm not sure of the specifics. I don't want to.
Same day as what?
I think they both died the same day.
Oh yeah.
With XXX. So, the same condolences, the same prayers, the same everything go out to that young man and his family. That young man's family as well. It's the same thing. I'm not as familiar with him. I don't know. He probably was up and coming more versus XXX, but it's still sad, man. It's still violence, the senseless violence.
I've also been seeing the articles of, oh my God, so many rappers are getting killed.
Really? I haven't seen that.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
It's like,
I think, what's dude's name? Lil Xan. He had a video talking about why do all these rappers keep dying and yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like,
it's nothing new.
This is not a new thing.
Yeah.
Right. It happens. I mean, especially when Chicago, I'm sure you can account for. I mean, when drill in Chicago was like on top commercially there for a couple of years, like 5 to 10 to 15 rappers a year were getting killed. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Miami, DC, like
LA.
Yeah.
It's just propelled that much bigger because of who he was.
Yeah.
XXX was. He was larger status among the kids, and plus everybody raps now too. There's that, but
yeah, this kid's gonna go down. This will be something that's a part of the hip hop story. Like this is gonna be one of those.
Do you think so?
I think so. I think it's gonna be one of those.
And I don't necessarily
he was an
not.
influential character. Like he was even down there with Kanye while he was making his album.
Yeah.
Puffy had a relationship with him. A lot of people had a relationship with this kid.
Yeah. Some of them I wasn't even aware of, to your point. Like I didn't even know about a lot of those relationships.
Right.
Like Travis Barker came out, if you guys are familiar with him, the drummer from But
so
I mean, I wasn't challenging. I was just curious to know if we thought what kind of stamp that was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's just tough, man.
And it's unfinished business at this point.
Sir.
So.
Yes, sir. So look.
Yeah, I want to follow this.
More stuff is gonna come out. Like there's no doubt about it. Like there's gonna be more stuff that's gonna come out, and I'm sure we'll definitely revisit it. I want to jump into some more music. We had a lot of projects that came out.
Hot weekend.
High level projects, man. Let's go Nasir first.
Nice. It took him forever though, man.
Yeah.
Not only did it take him forever for him to drop the album, but once the album actually came out, it took him forever to actually drop the album.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
It was like late Friday.
Yeah.
Late Saturday. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
Had a faulty internet connection.
Yeah. I bet they were mixing because the rough version I heard didn't have Puff, so they probably threw Puff on there and all that. So I saw the video from the listening party. It looked live, Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying? So
lots of hype.
Shout out to my homie Nasin. I saw him in the background somewhere. Yeah. So
saw who?
Well, my homie Nasin's producer from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
He was in there. I saw a screenshot of him. But not the actual project, 7 records. I had 4 out of 7 that I liked. Everybody's been bashing me about it because I'm not foaming at the mouth over it. I thought it was cool. All three good music releases, in my opinion, are cool. Four are cool. Nas might be more towards the top just because he's still an incredible rapper. His bars,
that's still subjective.
He still got, to me, he still got bars. But,
yeah. Oh yeah, he still got bars.
What's subjective?
Putting Nas's album over everybody else's. I mean,
that's just me now.
We're in a room full of people that are going to do that.
Yes, sir.
So that's
kind of what we're supposed to do, right?
Yes, sir. We don't have to agree. Ye was trash. I don't care if I listen to that anymore.
I think it was the top of all the par.
I don't think it was trash.
I'm straight on Ye. 𝐀𝐁𝐿 and Ye.
Those are my two favorites.
That one was.
So you didn't like.
I like Push's EP.
Yeah,
Pusha has some heat too.
Push about what I expected.
You didn't like Ghost Town on Ye's album?
No.
Yeah.
I like
Ghost Town 2.
Part 2.
You didn't like Ghost Town?
2 was on.
We talked about this.
We talked about that. Yeah. 2 was on.
I actually didn't mind that song.
Ghost Town was.
That shit was dope. Anyway, we supposed to be talking about Nas.
We'll talk about it again. What Ghost Town wasn't finished to me.
Yeah, it wasn't finished to me.
It sounded like it was just not cohesive. It didn't sound like a song I wanted to listen to again.
Shout out to Grizz. It's cool. It's cool.
We should. This is. We should have that. We should have a rating system, and it's cool is like 3 or 4.
We
have to show a picture.
We gotta get like him on the button too.
Yeah, we gotta.
What do you rate that? It's cool.
It's like, so Sean gives it a 3.
yeah. No, man, but Nas is still incredibly sharp lyrically. It just was a little lazy, man. It's like a B minus B plus for me.
It's lazy.
4 records for me. Production didn't match. It was cool.
Me personally, I like the whole project.
It sounded par for Nas to me.
You said it sounded what?
I mean, I just said it sounded par for Nas, like Nas to me. Like, it didn't sound like spectacular, but it wasn't bad.
You don't like Nas.
That's what they say.
No, we're not going to use that today though, because I agree with it.
You know what though? When I first heard, we talked about this a little bit. When I watched the live stream when it came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is way overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it at all from the stream.
Yeah,
but listening to it after the fact, I actually like it. So
I didn't say I don't. I just said it's cool.
I like it because it sounds like Nas.
Cop Shot.
Unlike another album that just came out that we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Go ahead.
Nas sounded like Nas.
Go ahead.
It's cool. He did.
And for real.
Cop Shot the Kid.
Stop, man.
The Nas album is straight. It's not enough
songs.
I'm not really feeling this 7-song rollout.
Okay.
And I've said this for the past 3 episodes.
All right.
It leaves too much for the imagination of what the album could have been if there was enough work put in.
Yeah.
It's almost like you get started on something, or like say you got an essay, you're supposed to write 500 words.
Yes, sir.
We always only wrote that 500 words for the most part.
Right. Yes. That's what he did.
So, but these are like 250 word essays. These are 250. At least give me the 500 words.
501 with the date
so
on
off top, you automatically get deducted. So you're automatically a B. So Mike, So Mike's kind of right.
Yeah, he's kind of right.
So what's
it's a B to me?
Yeah.
It needs filler. I'm gonna need at least a Nas album. I need 12 tracks.
So what's coming out? So with this whole good music rollout, help me understand there are like I know Pusha T's work. He's putting an album out. Are all these artists putting out follow-up albums to their EPs?
From my understanding, it's supposed to be 7 tracks for every album.
Moving forward?
So that's my understanding.
Oh, gotcha. I see. I thought this was all a precursor leading up to something bigger for everyone.
I don't know.
Nas's album was supposed to have been done 2 years ago, though, right?
Where is that album?
That's the one I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to hear that one.
You can tell it was fresh too because of some of the lyrics. He had the Starbucks line.
Yeah.
And some other stuff.
I want to hear the one where he went to go get Preem and he went to go get whoever. Like, that's the one I want to hear. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that, man.
I don't want to hear any more Wyoming.
You know what?
albums.
You know what might be funny? What might be funny is I might like this Nas album more than you guys do.
It's up towards
I like
the top
it
of the release.
like when it first came out.
Which is really
I thought
funny.
you had heard it because you had said something.
Yeah. I texted you guys. I was like, I guess I'm going to.
And I was like,
I laughed extremely hard.
I like the album.
It's cool.
And this is when I was listening to the YouTube rip.
That was me too.
So I'm listening to the YouTube rip, and you still not hearing it like you supposed to.
Yeah, okay.
And I kind of got over listening to that YouTube rip, and I was like, I'm cool on that.
I fell for the trap.
Wait until
I listened to the whole Wrong
drops.
Project first.
Man, I was checking every streaming service at least every hour twice.
Me too.
I was looking on iTunes and they didn't.
I didn't have to. I could just follow you guys.
I fell for the trap. I fell for the full album rip trap on YouTube. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and listen. And then I'm like, nah, it's not doing it justice. I got to make sure it comes out. I put in the whip, actually listen to it. So I listened again with the version somebody gave me. Then I listened the third time with the full release. And I was like, yo, this is just, it's good B-level Nas. It's B-level Nas. I'm not overly excited. It's cool.
Just because it's only a 250-word essay.
I mean, but, you know.
I tend to agree with Terry more on that one, too. Like, I don't think it's B-level. I think it's Nas. Like, I don't think he was lazy. I think he was himself.
It didn't sound lazy.
No, he was sharp.
Yeah. Like, I thought he was on point, man.
I don't know,
Kanye actually laced him with some cool beats.
I think so, too. But to your point, I would have loved a 12 to 14.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything over the top. So if I'm a producer,
Kanye could have not sung
and I'm working
song.
with Nas, I'm trying to hit him with like some of the best shit Nas ever rapped over, because
and I'm not singing auto-tune on it.
Nas has that kind of gray cloud over his head that he doesn't know how to pick beats.
Yep.
So if you have the opportunity to lace Nas, you need to go in. I mean, he just came off a solid ass album with Life Is Good.
Oh, that album was amazing.
Had one song on it that I didn't like. See, and how many tracks was that? Like 14?
Yeah,
13 or 14.
13, 14. That was a solid album.
I wish you heard it, Lone, because I'd love to hear your opinion on the beats. That's why I can't wait till you actually hear it. We'll have that conversation.
We were just listening to it before we.
But I know I want him to hear it though. I want him to hear it.
My original opinion was based on the YouTube stream, and I I was like,
that YouTube stream wasn't really giving it.
And then I heard Kanye doing his little singing. I was like, man, stop singing on Nas.
That's what everybody was saying. Why all this sing-songy Nas shit? It's the same. Blah, blah, blah.
It's like Nas said in his Mass Appeal thing, his documentary. He's like, people don't want to listen to me when I go to the club. I don't want to listen to myself. I don't want to hear Kanye sing when I hear a Nas record.
Do you know either? Quietly, when he said that do you know how good that made me feel when I heard him say that? Seriously.
I know.
It was a weird feeling, kind of, but I was like, thanks, Nas.
You know why I said that?
You said exactly what I hoped you said.
He said that because of 𝗏𝗏 𝗲𝗏.
Oh, you think so? I can see that.
𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏 is the only Nas club song.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Hate Me Now. You can play Hate Me Now in the club.
You can play Hate Me Now.
Yeah, but that ain't 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏.
Oh, that ain't
no, it's a different, completely different
𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏 was meant like they did that on purpose.
They did that on purpose. Yeah.
And then he was probably like, yeah.
Dude,
then they tried it with their one joint too with Aaliyah. You Can't See Me Tonight.
Oh yeah,
that trash ass song.
But he tried it on. He's
tried it a few times actually.
Yeah. What's the joint on?
He tried it on. It was entire Nostradamus, right?
Nostradamus was whack.
Or actually,
except for Project Windows.
He does have another club song. With Genuine.
You Owe Me.
Yeah,
trash.
You Owe Me. I wouldn't say it's trash.
Trash.
I wouldn't say that's trash. It's not trash.
I ain't like
trash. Fires in the dumpster.
I wouldn't say in the dumpster. It's not a song you want to hear Nas doing.
One of Nas's coldest records was on a whack album, Project Windows.
But that video though for the Genuine joint with a necklace start getting big when he said that line. That shit was dope.
I totally forgot about Yeah, I ain't fool with You On Me, but Nas is still cold. I don't hate Nas. Y'all calm down.
I need more tracks from a Nas
It's
project.
B-level Nas for me. And it's
cool.
It's cool.
What else dropped?
All right, so the Carter surprised everyone.
What's this?
Definitely.
Who put one out?
Mr. and Mrs. Carter. They dropped Everything Is Love.
It's funny though because the first streaming service that put Nas up was Tidal.
Yep. Threw him a bone.
They gave him about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
They let him cook for 2 hours.
For a little bit.
2 hours.
Then it's like, we're going to go ahead and hit y'all with the sauce.
A full album.
Full album.
With videos and all that.
Have you guys listened to the full album yet?
I have.
I have not.
I listened to probably about 6 records, and they're actually solid records, man.
Is it all in the vein of what we just listened to?
The video we saw. Yeah, it's...
For the most part.
Yeah.
It's... Well, the first song on the album is dope as hell. Summertime.
Yep.
That shit's cold.
I agree. I heard that one.
The one song on there when Jay-Z's talking about he good on any MLK Boulevard.
Yep.
That shit's cold.
The one where there's a record where he addresses, I think he's addressing Kanye. And it's called
Friends. He
addresses
Kanye twice on that album.
Was it called Friends? Where they talk about Tata is around his kids and at his crib more than Beyonce.
I think that was about him addressing Kanye with the whole wedding, him not showing up at the wedding.
That song
and he was
cold.
pretty much saying that he was going through problems with Beyonce.
Yeah.
And if she was in a burning house, then I'm not leaving the burning house.
Yep.
So
that record was cold.
To take care of my kids because I'm standing here trying to fix the situation with my wife.
That record was cold.
Much, yeah. Then he also had a line on there talking about when I don't know if it was that song, but he has a line somewhere where he's talking about you rather work for the man than work for me, and that irks me because you're pretty much out here trying to act like you're on my level, but you're not.
Talking about Drake.
Ooh.
I wouldn't say I thought that was Ye.
I thought it was Drake.
Really?
People are saying that it's Drake. People are saying that it's Drake, but that does actually kind of sound like.
But I mean, it makes sense that it will be Ye in my opinion because Ye was on Tidal at first.
Do they have an issue? Does Drake and Jay have an issue?
I think
Not that I know.
I think Hov's issue with Drake is he's strictly Apple and versus coming to the black owned streaming service with Tidal.
That's what I'm saying with Ye. Remember Ye when Tidal was first announced.
He sued Tidal.
Oh yeah, because he had ownership.
Ye was right there with him.
He had a stake in it, right?
And then he dropped out or whatnot.
Okay.
And then he started releasing all this shit through Apple.
He actually sued, if I'm not mistaken, Jay-Z or Tidal at one point.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because he said he didn't get money from streams or something like that.
Yeah, it was
if I'm not mistaken.
something crazy. But
I'm actually interested in hearing this project.
I did not. I'm going to throw out a crazy.
And normally
thing.
I wouldn't be interested, but I am actually interested.
Yeah.
I liked. I'll start with the positive. I liked Jay's verse on the. What's the song that we just listened to? Ape Shit. I liked Jay's verse, especially to this like more updated trappier style, I guess, of beat.
Yeah,
if you want to give it that, he did his thing. I like hearing people who can rap when they have all that open space like you have with those like little slower tempo beats. Go in and like, and he's still at what's he 51 years old can still rap.
Right. Yeah.
So that was dope. What I did not care for is like. It's because they paid them for it or whatever. It just seems it sounds like the Migos, which makes sense. And I don't like. I understand that, and I don't like that.
Right.
I don't find the Migos flow inventive. I don't find all these things that everybody says. I don't hate on them. Like good for them. Like if I were the Migos, I'd be so happy that Jay-Z reached out to me. Yeah. Like to write a hook and to write your wife's verse for you. Oh my God, that's amazing. Good for you guys. But like, I don't like that trend. I just haven't.
Yeah. I like them on ad-libs.
So I've heard enough skirts for the rest of my life.
Sean got a Migos ad-lib on his shit.
I do.
Does he?
Yeah.
Hey! Longevity.
Longevity.
But I'd like to give the whole project a listen because I was impressed with Jay's verse. And
yeah, man. I think they...
I'm curious. I'm
it's
curious.
worth a whole listen.
I don't think it's going to be as whack as Watch the Throne.
You had to do that, didn't you?
Yes.
Watch the Throne. He got to throw the shade to give some lemonade. It's like lemonade with salt in it.
I've never been a Beyonce fan, but from what I heard from Lemonade, it sounded decent. So
I bet you're going to see her. We had this conversation already, though.
Yeah.
You're going to see her.
Real quick. I know we got to get out of here, but J-Rock, Redemption. Cold. I liked it. He got some heat on there.
Yeah.
He might have the weekend on lock.
You think so?
He might.
I gotta hear the rest of the Carters though. I gotta hear the rest of that.
I mean, it was a nice weekend.
We had a couple Naptown
for rap fans?
Yeah. So you got Skip dropped this past weekend.
Okay.
And Zachary Leon.
Yep. Okay.
It was.
Shout out to Zachary, man. Dude.
It was a lot of heat this past weekend.
And Skip too. I don't know Skip, but shout to you too, buddy.
Yeah, I need to put my ears on those. We got anything popping? You guys got anything coming up that we need to shout out, or what's going on?
Is this the build week? It is the build week.
Build week.
So the build is tonight. It's at a new place. It's actually going to be at the 𝐀𝐁𝐿 Institute house.
Okay.
A house location, not the actual normal spot. I don't have the address, but yes.
Be there.
It's like 2518 North Boulevard.
TMZ will pop up on your ass.
Yeah, all you gotta do is ring the bell. They'll fall out the sky.
Yep.
So that's
camera ready.
That's that. What else do we have? There's some other stuff going on. The dojo's Friday as well at Listen Here. Yeah.
I think there might be another Juneteenth celebration this weekend.
2518 North. It's 2518 North Boulevard Place is where the build is. So
cool.
Be there. Also want to give a shout out to Jason Lou's man who passed away over the weekend. Real dope and great guy from Indianapolis.
He was
Franklin.
He was a great guy.
Could say a lot more, but
yeah, man. Miss you, Jason. Rest in peace, man.
Solid dude. His services are Friday, correct?
Yes. From 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Yep.
In Franklin, Indiana.
Yep.
Word. I guess that'll go ahead and do it for episode 86. Remember, Coleman Dental 317-255-8546. Shout out to them. No Bad Ideas as well. They lace us with the Oddities Gang joint. Pay my man Red August when you see him on the street. Get that man his bread. Bringing down the band. And as always, patreon.com/New Old Heads. Check us out. We got a lot of good things going on. And we will see you guys next week. Peace.
We need 500-word essays in this bitch. No more 250-word essays.
Yes, sir. Listen to that man.
I'm going to need the whole thing.
Yes, sir.